Hello, good evening, and welcome to Monkeys with Fire. How is everybody tonight? Hope you're all well. Hope you had a fantastic weekend. Let's say hello to the chat. So, good evening, Mystical Unicorn Painting, and Roger, and hello, Sarah. How are you all? Hope you're all well. Oh, those were sound effects for previous games. They don't work on this one. So, Sarah, are you all set and ready to bring you on in? Because we've got quite a bit. Yes, you have. But before we bring you in, we should obviously announce what game we are playing tonight. And we are going to be playing Imperium Classics from Osprey Games. This is a civilization deck builder. I have been playing this behind the scenes, thoroughly enjoying it, so I'm looking forward to sharing with you tonight. Sarah saying, so much to explain, we'll need it. Yes. Don't worry, we'll guide you through, not a problem. Okay, let's bring you on in and get started. Good evening, Sarah.
Hello.
How are you?
Doing all right.
You're doing all right. So YouTube was a no-go, so does that mean you've not been able to watch the video to get a handle on this game?
It means I tried.
You tried. Okay, that's fine. At least at least you'll have seen something, and hopefully that will be enough.
I've seen the cards, and I understand that it's card-based, hand-based.
Yep.
Unfortunately, the video, since we don't know which video it was that I watched, I'll say it, was extremely dry and boring to me, and so my brain would not handle it.
Okay.
My little ADHD brain was like, nope, this is not gonna happen.
Well, hopefully we'll go through the game tonight, and because of the nature of the game, we are dealing with ancient civilizations, and we want to be able to feel the scope of hundreds of years of development in single cards. So there is a reasonable amount to sort of take on board, but if it was any less, you would feel you wasn't getting the full civilization building experience. So it's a balance. I think this game gets it very, very well, okay? But we'll take a little bit just to get going, and I think after a couple of turns, you'll absolutely understand what needs to be done, and away we'll go. But let's jump to the table, and I will start explaining. Okay. So we have the game set up in front of us, and ultimately this is your civilization, this is mine, and because this is a deck builder, it's all about the cards. We are trying to basically go through a deck of cards as quickly as we possibly can, so that we're able then to bring in new cards into our hand. These new cards hopefully have better attributes to them, and at the same time trying to flush out bad cards that basically block our hand from us being able to do amazing things. So I think the first thing, do you have pen and paper?
Yes.
Yes? Okay, so let me show you your cards. We can make a few notes as to each one, and then as I explain the game, that will hopefully resonate with you. So let's go through these. Okay, so hopefully this all works. So then, you have an Unrest card. Unrest cards are basically the cards that you want to get rid of. You're going to have 5 cards in your hand at the start of your turn, but an unrest card, basically it does nothing. You have to pay resources to get rid of it. The important thing is that at the end of the game, if you still have unrest cards within your hand or within your deck, they are -2 points. So you do want to get rid of the unrest cards. All right, and as you can see, it says you can choose to pay 1 population, or discard 2 cards, or you pay 3 resources. And if you do, return this card to the unrest pile. The unrest pile being up at the top, just here.
Unrest pile gone forever, or it can come back?
Potentially it can come back.
Okay.
All right. That's the first card. Just to explain, you are playing as the Macedonians. So your leader is going to be, of course, Alexander the Great. And you'll see the flavor of your ancient civilization in the cards you have, because each of the civilizations is unique. All of the cards are focused on that particular civilization, which is great. So this is a phalanx. So this is exhaust. Play a region from your discard pile, spending an action as normal. So there are keywords on all of the cards. So exhaust, what does that mean? I'm going to point to my pile just here. You have 5 exhaust tokens. When you have played that card and it is out as part of your civilization, during your turn, you can use exhaust tokens on cards that are in play and use their ability. So you can do this every round. So you're able to play.
So I get 5 back every round?
Yes, you do. Yes, at the end of the round, all of your counters refresh.
And I assume the end of the round is when you've done your 3 actions.
Yes. Okay. Well, yes, your free actions, yes, of course, because you have, and I'm pointing to mine here, you have 3 action tokens. So all of those will refresh. So you would be able to play a region card, and I'll show you and explain regions in a moment, from your discard pile, but it does require an action. Okay, so you need to have both an exhaust token and a action token. But you can take from your discard and actually play it, so that could be quite handy. Okay, this one's going to be fun. Of course, you know, I am doing green screen and I have cards that have green grass on them.
I did see, though, in the video that they are all beautiful cards.
Oh, the artwork is absolutely gorgeous.
Because I did attempt to watch, so I kind of got some things here and there, but my brain just wasn't absorbing anything.
That's okay. That's fine. Because again, we know as we play, we learn, or have a tendency to learn better, don't we? But at least you've got something that you might start to recognize. So here we go. That one is Orestes, I think it says. You gain 2 resources and you may garrison a card. I will explain what garrisoning is later on, but you will gain 2 resources from playing that card, and it is a region card. And the reason it's a region card is because it has a yellow top to it, and it has the yellow landscape icon down at the bottom. Again, you'll start to get familiar with these.
Purple means what? Purple means...
purple means... Oh, hang on.
The last card, I think, had like a purple name.
No, you had the phalanx, which was grey. You had the
Oh, grey.
Oh, sorry, you had the unrest, which was red. The phalanx was grey. You've just had this yellow one. I'm just going to make sure this is right.
Yellow means region.
Hang on a second. Hang on. Is region, yes.
Grey means?
Grey is civilized. Green is uncivilized. Bluey purple is tributary. Okay. I'll point these out as we go along. Okay.
Can I ask a quick gameplay question?
Go on, go on.
Okay, so I see that there's like the 5 exhausts, which needs to be played on cards. You have like 3 main actions per turn or round. Once we put down the cards and discard, when we draw up a new hand, it comes from the face down cards, not necessarily our discards, I'm assuming, until we run out and they need to be reshuffled. Is it like most cards?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
And then so cards that we play, do they end up being gone forever, or do they just end up getting discarded and back in our hand later?
Depends on the nature of the card. Some of the cards are going to go out in what is your actual civilization, so you'll be building up cards at the top here, and these are typically the ones that you might exhaust. Others will go into your discard pile and come back into your hand, as you rightly say, in due course. Okay. It depends on the nature of the card, but yes, if you've played a deck building game, the core mechanics you've probably got a good handle on. Okay, so this one is gain 2 resources. But you may garrison a card, and we'll talk about garrisoning in a bit.
Okay, and red is Unrest. That's one of the colors we didn't go over. So red is Unrest.
It is, yes, and that's basically that's just a blocker card. So you've got to get rid of it. It's -2 points. Okay, that card again is a region, Pelagonia. You gain 1 population, and you may garrison a card. So kind of the same as the previous one, except this is population. Because cards do have a cost, and it depends whether you're going to use your resources or your population to basically pay for it. So your final card in your hand is Conquer. I think the grey cards are an action sort of card. So choose to pay 2 population to acquire either a region or a tributary card, or pay 3 population to break through for either a region or a tributary. So what does break through mean? Let me explain that. That's your cards. We're just going to put those just there. Okay, so we have at the top of the table here the marketplace. The marketplace is divided up. We have regions, we have uncivilized, we have civilized, and then this area is a mix of the 4 elements. So again, region, uncivilized, civilized, but also the blue icon of tributary. All right. You might have a card that allows you to acquire a card from the market, and the choice of that card is up to you. But be aware that some of these cards actually come with an Unrest card, so there is kind of a penalty. And when you take up the card, I just want to make certain on this. Just go to the appendix here, so it's fine.
But just so you know, we're all in agreement that we like your little white and black logo that you have in Discord that shows up on your little talk bubble.
Well, it of course is due to recent events, isn't it? So
I assumed, however, art-wise, we all agree that it looks really nice.
Yeah.
Like you might consider keeping it for a little bit.
Well, it's purely for the immediate circumstances. I think it will be going back to its normal full color self.
Okay. Well, it looks really nice, and crisp and clean. Just FYI.
Okay, so when you are able to acquire a card, those cards go into your hand, so you then have the potential to be able to play them if you do have actions left, okay?
Okay, so they instantly go to hand, not your discard pile.
Exactly. Okay. So that will be acquiring cards from the market. I've pointed out you have 3 resources, you have 1 population, and you have 1 development icon.
But we could use the little play button.
Now, yes, now the development icons, there are some cards on the market that actually come with that icon. at the end of the game, the development marker is basically worth 1 victory point. How does it... There is a way of using it in the game. Let me just double check.
No, wait, what are the little boxes called? Because I wrote development, and that was wrong. That's the play button is the development, correct?
It is, yes.
Okay, development. The little boxes are... Oh, gosh. Are...
So so the ones with the dots are your actions. The ones with the crosses are your exhaust.
Right, no, underneath, the little boxes. The 3 little boxes. Because you have your people. You have the play button, you have your people,
Oh,
and
it's
then...
the resources.
Resource, okay.
Yes, they're like bricks, basically. It's for building.
Right. I'm just making quick little notes on my notepad.
That's okay.
Hello, Dinner Discussions Pod.
Hello. Welcome to the channel. We're just going through the rules of Imperium Classics from Osprey Games.
Also, hello, Roger, and hello, mean mystical unicorn.
Right, so let me just make sure, get this right. So then, on your turn, you can do 1 of 3 main actions. Okay, so this is activate, innovate, or revolt. So let's just break these down. So activate is where you're able to take actions, and that is where you use your action tokens. And typically that will be playing cards out of your hand, which might allow you to then purchase cards from the market. All right. Obviously, you can only do however many action tokens you've got. Once they go, that is it.
Until next turn.
Until next turn, yes.
Well, next round, I mean.
During the activate phase, if you want to exhaust a card, then this is when you would do it. All right. Important point. When we start the game off, both of our sort of city-states, our civilizations, are in the barbarian state. So this is the red icon with the sort of battle axe on it. And that means that while you're at that stage, you can only play cards that have the red battle axe on it. All right?
So for my phalanx card, where it says like exhaust to play a crown from your discard.
Yep.
Exhaust and action. Does that mean that I would need to put it down as an action, like play it as an action, and then later I could decide to exhaust it, or
Yes.
is that kind of like a put together?
So you could use an action, all right, and basically have it in play. All right, that would be your action. All right, you can then exhaust it. All right, but it would cost you an action to do so.
So
right?
if you do them, but you could do them at the same time.
Yes, but in a subsequent round, because the card is already in play, right? It would only then, to exhaust, it would only then cost you the 1 icon because it's already now set up. Right? So it's just the initial stage you would have to do 2 actions to actually make it work.
Okay, so the cards that are going to be set out face up, do those stay there the entire time?
Potentially, yes.
Okay, so if that's sitting there, and that means that we could exhaust it multiple times?
Oh, you can only ever exhaust a card once during that turn. Because
I'm saying during another turn, or would the card be gone for another turn?
No, the card will stay there, and what will happen is in the cleanup phase, we will take all the tokens back. The great thing about the game is the tokens tell you what is available for you to be able to use. And once your turn finishes, we go into a cleanup phase, all the tokens come back, and everything then is active again.
So, let's say this is a new turn, that card is still up there. I want to use its action again. Do I have to do an action to then exhaust it again?
Yes, you do.
Okay.
Because that's what it says. It says play a region card from your discard pile. So you've got to exhaust, so you put an exhaust token, but it says spending an action as normal. So you've got to spend an action.
And then to play that card from the discard pile would be another action.
No. That's the benefit of the phalanx. That is what actually you're going to be doing. So then you're able to take one of the region cards from your discard and play it.
Okay. It's kind of wrapped up all within that action token.
It is.
Got
Exactly.
it.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, sorry. I was wanting to understand how the two-part for that worked.
It's all right. This is the thing, is once you have these in your mind, you've got a good grasp of how they work, it all just pieces together, not a problem. All right? So let's just carry on with what the main sort of sets of actions are. So the activate, you can use your actions, you can play cards, you can buy cards from the market. The next aspect, and remember, you can only do one of these during your turn, is innovate. So first, you place all of your cards in your hand into the discard pile. Right? So this is a way of you cleaning up all of the cards in your hand. You then can do a breakthrough for one of the cards in the marketplace. But then you go straight to cleanup. In other words, you cannot play any cards. You just get to discard all the cards in your hand, and you get to pick a card from the market. And I will explain the breakthrough aspect to it, because that's quite important. But that's all you can do for innovate. The final option is to revolt. And with that, you are able to return any number of the red Unrest cards. So these cards just over here, the ones that are -2 points at the end of the game. You can return any number of those cards to the pile over there. But then you move to cleanup. You do not do any other actions. Okay, so it's a way of getting rid of them all in one go, but that's all you get to do. All right. So then when we get to cleanup, we're going to be adding one of the development tokens to any card in the market. And then we will clean up our play area as far as any tokens. Everything will get reset. Now, what's going to happen, this is an important part of the game, and again, because it's a deck builder, some of this might be familiar, is that when your draw deck is empty and you need to draw a card, we first have to check to see what the state of our city is. So if it is in the barbarian state, then what happens is we take so on our state card, so what we do is we end up taking a card from this pile. These cards are more advanced than the ones that are in our deck. So we will take a card, we will place it in our deck, we will shuffle the deck, and then we will deal 5 cards. Hopefully, we might get one of these new, more advanced cards. All right? But what's going to happen is you're going to work through this pile, bringing every time you have to restart because you've got no cards available. You have to reshuffle your discard pile. You're going to be bringing a card from your state into that deck. Eventually, you're going to get to Alexander the Great. And then from that point onwards, once Alexander comes over, this card is going to flip, and you're going to go into a civilized state as opposed to being a barbarian state, and then you are able to purchase these higher level cards. And this is your civilization basically developing. So something you want to do is you want to be able to play through your cards as quickly as possible, forcing yourself to have to restart a new deck, bringing these cards into your deck as quickly as possible. So that is one of the things you do want to consider. And I have to do exactly the same.
Okay, so getting them out of that pile, the top pile, correct?
Yep.
Okay, I'm just writing this down. To get it out of the top pile, what is the main thing?
You basically need to have worked through, you need to be, all of your cards want to be in the discard pile. So that your cards have either been used, sort of up in the main area, or they're in the discard. When you are not able to draw a new card, that is when that starts the new pile for you. Okay.
So that you can't have anything in Discord, and discard either.
Yeah, no, that's the whole point. You essentially want all of your cards in as a discard, right? At that point, then we can then shuffle that deck, start a new hand, and you start a new deck, but you're bringing in one of the more advanced cards into that pile.
Oh, okay, bringing one new one. Okay.
All right. Breakthrough. So this is the important part. So when you typically acquire from the market, I did explain that some of these cards have an Unrest card underneath them. Okay. The breakthrough command, you can select any card of the suit from the market and add it to your hand. If you choose this option, you will gain all the resource, population, and development tokens on that card. And if there is an Unrest card underneath the card you select, return it to the Unrest pile. So the breakthrough means you take the card that you want, but you discard the Unrest. So
okay, and we get what's on the bottom.
Well, yes, that's the benefits of these particular cards, but as doing a breakthrough action means you don't take the Unrest card. Right? It's a bonus. It is better. It's going to cost you more, but you're not going to have those Unrest cards. You're not going to have the -2 points. You're not going to be clogging up your hand with useless cards.
So my Conqueror card that says that I can pay 3 people.
Yep.
To do a breakthrough, does
Yep.
that happen at that moment? I would get that
Yes.
extra card.
Yes, so you would gain a card, but you wouldn't have to take the Unrest card. That's the bonus.
And I'd get to put that card in my hand.
And you get to put the card in your hand, which then if you have actions, you could play that card straight away.
So
Now,
let's say I played my Conquer card and I took that blue card just because there's a blue line and I can see the blue line.
Yep.
I take that blue card.
Yep.
The resource that I would get wouldn't be the little flag on the bottom of the card. It would just be the play button sitting on the card.
No, remember the flag is telling you what type of card it is. It's not a resource.
Okay, so the resource would be the token sitting on the card.
Exactly, yes. Some of these cards might end up with additional resources.
Right, so I would get that card, it would come to my hand, and I would instantly get the little play button, and then now I have the chance to play that card next if I wanted to.
Exactly.
Got it. Okay.
All right.
Just making sure.
We're getting close. We're getting close because I just need to find.
Which is good because that play button gives me more resources to buy, and then I'd be essentially getting that resource back.
I just want to find that play button because I think the play button counts as any resource, doesn't it?
It the play button gives you like it counts as 1 people card and I think 2 resources.
That's it. Oh, so you did catch this bit in the video then. Okay.
I told you I tried to watch it, but I didn't.
Right, but so let me just double check here because I'm trying to find it.
Yeah, the play button equals a victory point.
It does.
Or you can spend it, I think, as 1 people or 2 resources.
I think you're right. I think you're right, and that's 1 people, 2 resources. Where is it?
Or it's the other way around. I don't. It's one or the other.
No, I think you're right. I'm just trying to find it on the instructions here, just to make sure.
See, I at least attempted the homework.
No, it's good.
It was just the actual playing and describing it that way. My brain said absolutely not.
Okay. Cities, empires. This is why I've suggested that we might play again soonish, because once all the rules are in our minds, we want to keep them there, don't we?
Today's kind of a learning. Here's what we would do, and then maybe in a next time we might be able to be like, cool, now we know, let's go.
Exactly, yes. So here we go. When paying population, you may spend any amount of progress as if they were 1, and the progress acts as 2 resource. So yes, so we call it the play button, but it is a progress token. So progress counts as 1 population or 2 resources. All right. And the only other thing with the breakthrough, and I just want to make sure. I think we're good. So what we're going to do is I'm going to start. So give it as a sort of an example, and I will show you my hand, and we'll work through it a little bit, and then we'll sort of take it from there. All right. So I'm just going to take a look at what I have. So I'm going to activate straight away. I'm going to use one of my actions. So use that, I'm going to play a card, and I'm going to build the city of Rome.
You can see the dots from where the green screen goes on my side, just FYI.
I know, unfortunately, there's not much I can do about it, I'm afraid. It's, yeah, it's just going to have to...
I've just never really noticed that before.
It's because the lighting's slightly off, it's getting a little bit darker, and, yeah... So we'll have to make do. Ultimately, so long as you can see what your cards are, what gets set up here is actually, it's not that, you'll be fine.
Right.
You'll be fine. So City of Rome. So when we get to the Solstice, and we haven't explained that, well, that's basically the divider between our 2 goes and the next round. Okay. So the Solstice, you may discard a card to choose either gain 1 population or gain 1 resource, or I get to draw a card. So that's going to happen every time.
So during the Solstice, we can discard for what?
That's only if I decide to use that card. All right. So it's not necessarily a given. Right?
Oh, so we have to have a card that says Solstice. And
yes.
When the Solstice round occurs, if we have any actions left, then we can do it?
Exactly, right. You potentially will have a Solstice card that you can use that gives you a unique ability. All right? So if
we play the Solstice card during our turn...
It's not a Solstice card, it's just an ability that happens during the Solstice part of the round.
Okay, so if we have a card that says Solstice, because I saw in the video one of the cards says Solstice, and then it says what would happen.
Yep.
We have to pay an action to put that card down.
Yep.
But then when the Solstice incident occurs, whatever that card says, we get to do whether we have actions left or not.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, because it's not requiring an action. Right, and in fact, this City of Rome is basically a card that just constantly keeps on happening all the time because it has the infinity symbol up at the top of it. All right, so I've played that. That's my first action. I am going to use a second action, and I'm going to play Dalmatia, which is a region card, and it says that I gain 1 population. So I'm going to take a population. That's done.
You never said what garrisoning a card meant.
Yes, and I will come back to that. But I'm just going to finish off. And then I'm going to get rid of this Unrest card. So it says choose pay 1 population or discard 2 cards or pay 3 resources. Okay, well I'm going to pay the 1 population, which I've just acquired, and I will get rid of the card. All right, so that was my 3 actions. I have 2 cards left, right? I'm going to put those into what is now my discard pile. And I'm going to draw up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Those are my new cards now. And that effectively is the end of my turn. So I would then put my tokens back, and that's it. That's my turn done. So play now comes over to you.
Okay, but what does the garrison a card mean?
Right, so the garrison a card, okay. Garrison. Here we go. So take another card from your hand and place it face up underneath the card with the garrison keyword. The card underneath it is now considered garrisoned. A card can have multiple cards garrisoned underneath it. Some cards might specify the type of card that can be garrisoned. If a garrison card is underneath a card that... Oh, hang on, no. Basically, a garrison card is not considered to be in your play area, though it will still score your points at the end of the game. So do you remember when I said that you want to be able to work your way through your cards as quickly as possible to force you having to reform your deck and bringing new cards in? Garrisoning a card underneath your the card that's out means that card is no longer in your hand or in your draw pile. It means your draw pile has become smaller, which means you're getting through your cards quicker.
But it also means that you're not gonna ever be able to use that card.
Exactly, right? But
if you were to garrison a bad card, you would still lose those points at the end of the game.
Yes, you would. Yes, oh yes.
Well,
but if you garrison a good card, you still get those points.
Right, but you just don't get to...
But you can't use that card anymore. That's it. It's a case of which of the cards do you have that you can take advantage of maybe the points, but you don't actually need its ability. Some of the cards don't have an ability. All right? So that's where the garrison comes on in. Right? But it happens when you play down that card. So I've played that Dalmatia. If I wanted to, I could have garrisoned a card, right? But I don't have to now. Or I can't do now in the future because I've already played it. I took advantage of what its ability was right at the start. All right, let's take a look at your cards. Shall I help you, sort of guide you through a little bit?
So I would want to do my Orestes, I guess?
Yep. So you can play that. Now it says
so that way I would gain 2 resources.
Gain 2 resources, okay. Got 2 resources, you're up to 5 resources now. Okay. Now it does say you
I have
can.
5.
You have 5 now in total. You
Oh wait, how many did I start with?
You start with 3. Now you got up to 5.
Oh, how many people do I have?
You have 1.
Okay. All right, so I would play that guy.
So that's one action been done. Okay, let's move that on.
Discarding is an action, correct?
You know, because that is a different... If you wanted to discard, remember that would have been innovate, where you discard all of your cards. Because you're doing the activate action, you can only play your cards.
So then for an action, can I pay my 3 resources to then put my unrest back into the pile so it never gets in my hand again?
Yes, you can. Okay, so that is
I'll
another.
do that.
So that's another action, and you're spending your 3 resources. They go there. This is got rid of. All right, excellent. We're making short work of this. Right, you've got 1 more action available to you.
Okay.
So you have, is it Pelagonia will give you 1 population? You have the phalanx, which exhaust a region from your discard pile. Well, you don't have a discard pile yet, but but you will in future turns, won't you?
So let's go ahead and play that one then.
So you're going to play the phalanx, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so here we go. So you're playing the phalanx. That comes on out. All right. That is the end of your turn. These two now go into your discard. And we draw up 5 new cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you've got 1 card left, right, in your draw pile. But you have 2 cards in your discard, and spoilers, one of those cards happens to be a region card. To which your phalanx, if you exhaust it, play a region from your discard. So you've already set up this motion that in your next turn, you'll be able to play that card out of your discard because of the phalanx that you've already got set up.
Okay, so my first action was to... Oh, no. Okay, my third action was getting rid of that 1 card.
Yes,
okay, cool.
You've done all your actions now. That's it. All right? So those all go. We've sorted out a new hand for you. You have a discard. You have 1 left in your deck. I'm going to explain those. Well, shall I explain your cards now before we move on? So
that I probably need to write them down.
Yes, so you can be planning a little bit. So here we go. So you do have another Unrest card.
The same as the last one?
Yep, exactly the same. Unrest cards are exactly the same.
Okay.
I've got some great names here that I'm not going to be able to pronounce. Halikalmon Valley. Gain 1 population and you may garrison a card. Because it's all green, it's all getting phased out. You have... Oh, here's an interesting one. This is Philip II. So this, acquire. You can acquire either a uncivilized, a civilized, a region, or a territory. Or, tributary. And then put this card into your history. Oh, got to explain. Oh, sorry. So putting cards into history, they go underneath your state card, and it basically means you only ever get to use that card once. Philip II was a figure in history. You've met him, you've had the bonus from him, but then that's it. You don't get to use him again. All right. You have another Unrest card. So you have 2 Unrest cards in this particular hand. And finally...
Wouldn't that put me at 6 cards, though?
What do you mean 6 cards?
Oh, no, I don't have my original cards.
No, oh no.
We don't hold on to our 2 original?
No, they are now in your discard pile.
Okay.
Yeah, you're only ever going to have 5 cards in your hand. I can obviously refresh your memory as to what's gone into your discard, because of course it is important, because you can access cards from your discard. Alright, but your final card is Conquer. So pay 2 population to acquire either a region or a tributary, or pay 3 population to break through for the same. Remember, breakthrough means that you get to take the card, but you do not take the Unrest card as well. Alright. So those are your cards going into the next round. So we finish this first round and we go to the Solstice. And the Solstice, let's just double check. Just make sure I get it right. Solstice. The round ends when the players are right. Yep. Before the next player takes its turn, each player should resolve all Solstice keywords. Well, at this moment in time, I am the only one who has a Solstice keyword in play. And that is basically it. Once all players have resolved all their Solstice keywords, the next player takes their turn and round starts as normal. So, as part of the Solstice, the city of Rome, you may discard a card to choose one population or one resource, or I get to draw a card. Now, my hand, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I do not have a draw pile, which means I would have to now generate a draw pile. So I get to take a card from my development area, shuffle this, and draw a card. Alright, and that was my Solstice action. So, we then start the next round, which is with me. So I'm going to take a look at my cards. Let's see, what can I do? I have an Unrest card, so I'm going to use one action. I'm going to get rid of an Unrest, which means I pay one population. Done. Okay, I'm going to play this card. It is Triumvirate. Breakthrough for an uncivilized card. Put this card into your history. So it's cost me an action. I put it into my history, which just means it goes underneath there. And I can take an uncivilized card, which is this city one just here. That city goes in, but I don't have to take the Unrest card, which is great. And we draw out a new card into the market. We get some boats. We'll, when we're looking at markets, I'll go through the details on that. This is interesting. So, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to build this city. I'm going to increase the size of Rome. We built this city.
Starting to sing that song in my head too. I was going to ask, oh, did you build it on rock and roll?
And, well, basically, the city is another Solstice card. Right? So now, when it comes to the Solstice, I'm able to do my actions twice. Alright? But that gets us to the end of my go. My cards go into discard. I draw up 3, 1, 2. Well, I can only draw up 2. So now I've got to put a card into my discard. Shuffle these. And then, so I've got 2, 3, 4, 5. There is my hand. There is my deck. That's me done. So you see how I'm getting rid of the Unrest cards, having to force new cards to be drawn, hence bringing these cards into play to then bring them into my hand. All right. Over to you. What have you got? You've got 2 Unrest cards. You got Philip. You got the Valley. And you've got Conquer.
We have a new follower, by the way.
Oh, do we? Who followed? Oh, dinner discussions.
Dinner discussion? Odd.
So dinner discussions. Are you following with the game? Have you played the game before? This is Imperium Classics. We will actually talk about Imperium Legends when we get to the end of the game, or around 9 o'clock-ish, whichever comes first. As we said at the start. Oh, go on. Sorry.
I was gonna say I'm gonna do my action to do my phalanx card.
Okay, so it costs you 1 action, and you
And an
exhaust it. Yep. And that allows you to then play a region from your discard. So we'll take a look at your discard. This is Pelagonia. And I'm going to put these kind of on top of one another because that's kind of what you want to do. You gain 1 population. You could garrison a card if you wanted to. To be honest, the first time we played the game, we didn't do any garrisoning, so maybe you might want to skip it. Just because I think I understand how it works, but I've just not done it in practice, or I've not seen cards that have had a benefit to be able to do that at this moment. So okay. I won't get too... Again, it's a learning game for us, isn't it? And I'm just going to turn these over because I didn't explain something. We're definitely playing it from this style. Again, the game is great because there are lots of little things that you can trigger if you want to. It suggests on a first time that we play it with our city-states in a basic level, so that's what we're going to do. We're not going to overcomplicate things here and now.
Okay, so for my... So that would be my second action, or that was my first action?
That was your first action.
Okay, for my second action, can I play the Halicomo card?
You can. Okay, so there is another action, and that goes there. You are building up your regions. Now, this is really good, and you gain a population. Let me just share something with you, which again, it's all these little details. Okay, if we put the cards like this, and if I bring them over to the camera here. Okay, can you see that these different regions, they have some icons up at the top? One looks like a sort of a head of wheat, and the other a water droplet. There will be cards that you will encounter where basically you get bonuses depending on how many of the wheat symbols do you have in play, how many of the water icons do you have in play. So this is part of your development, which of course kind of echoes what Alexander the Great and the Macedonians did. They took over great areas of land, and that is kind of how you want to lean into your play a little bit. That acquiring land, right, is really good for you. Okay, so that makes me point out then that up at the top here you have a marsh, which again gives you the water droplet, but also gives you a sort of a purse, a coin purse. So again, it's another icon to collect that if you have appropriate cards, that can pay off. Every civilization in the game has a certain play style. They're what we call sort of asymmetrical. So you learning what your style of play is with your particular civilization and leaning into it, right? That's your pathway to victory. Mine is, well, I'll tell you this right from now. Both of our civilizations are quite similar, okay? And these are 2 good starting civilizations because it's a learning game for us, all right? So you want territory...
Hey, Monkey, we've managed to mess up a name even though it was only 1 letter.
Have we?
It's Diner.
Is it Diner, not Dinner?
Yeah.
Diner Discussions.
Yeah, Diner Discussions, not Dinner Discussions. Kobe said, oh.
Well, that is a definite exclamation ruined, isn't it? Sorry, Dinah. A 7% chance that I would ruin it? No, I think it was probably much higher. So 3 of us in the studio today, currently sleeving cards. What game are you sleeving? All right, so Sarah, you've had two actions. You've got 1 left. What would you like to do?
Conquer.
You're going to do Conquer. So you have an option. Pay 2... Well, first of all, we'll use your action. So we've got that done. Then pay 2 population to acquire either a region, hint hint, or a tributary, or pay 3 to break through and do the same.
By region.
Oh, now hang on. Let me just double check something. Hang on. Because I know I've done something slightly wrong. Should be okay.
Well, what does that blue card do? Wait, we'd have to pay 3 people to do that. So what does that blue card do up there if I wanted that one? Or could I not get that one?
Hang on, just hang on a second, hang on. So it's only the region, right? So I needed to put a Unrest card under this boat. And hang on. I should have
sleeving
added...
Adventure Mart, and then after that, they're going to be sleeving Last Day on Earth.
Ah, I need to put these tokens on these because that's supposed to happen at each stage now.
Oh, so each time that you don't buy one, they gain more points.
That's correct. Now, this one didn't have a token, so I then took the city, so it wouldn't have gained one. But in the next, when we get to the Solstice, I will be putting one on there.
So I have a chance between the 2 yellow cards or the blue card.
So you can purchase, what was it? Hang on. You can break through. So you can either take the yellow or the blue. So yellow is a region, blue is a tributary. So you've got the mountain, you've got the marsh. So let me explain. Mountain, you will gain 3 resources. And you can exile a card from the market. So when you exile a card, it is out of the game forever. That's it. It's gone. So it depends how mean you want to be. But importantly, the mountain is worth 1 victory point at the end of the game. At this moment in time, none of the cards you've played have given you any victory points. I played a city, which was 1 victory point. The marsh. Marsh is going to give you some icons at the top. You'll gain 2 resources. And again, you can exile a card if you want. Both of these give you 2 progress tokens, which we've already explained how they can be converted to population or resources, or they are a point at the end of the game. The only one we haven't explained is the tributary, which is Ionas. So it's free play. Return up to 2 Unrest cards from your hand or discard pile. Then you put this card into history. That could be useful, right? So you could acquire
Okay, what is
card.
history?
Right? History is where you use it once and then it goes under your city state and you can't use it again. But the points that it acquires are still valid at the end of the game. So it's worth 3 points. So in fact, picking up that card, using your breakthrough action, gains you effectively 5 points. And you get rid of those 2 unrests all in one go.
But those unrests would go to my history, which the points would still count.
No. Return up to 2 unrests from your hand or discard pile. So return, they would go to the pile over here. That is
that card.
A perfect card.
Yeah, I want that card, but I have to pay to break it. So I have the 3 people.
You have the 3, so you're going to play the free population. So the free population is gone. You're taking that card. Because you did it as a breakthrough, you do not take the unrest. All right, so that's done there. And because now it's totally up to you. You can play it immediately because it's free play. It doesn't require an action token because you have none now. Do you want to play it right now?
Yes.
Okay, so you play that card right now.
To get rid of the 2 unrests in my hand.
Exactly. That goes there. These 2 go. All right. And that now is the end of your turn. these 2 cards go into your discard. You draw up 1 card, right? This now goes into your draw pile. We shuffle these. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you've naturally not got a draw pile anymore, which means as soon as you play around, it's automatically going to take one of these cards into your draw pile. This is how you're now speeding through and developing as a civilization. That was a great round. Okay, let's take, we've got to refresh this card. So we have a new territory, which is a jungle.
I can conquer, but that doesn't go up onto the play zone.
What was that, sorry?
So when I played my conquer card, that didn't get played up top.
No, it's because it's not it was just an action. Let me just double check because it was conquer. So that's it, yeah, choose, yeah, that's it. Just goes right back into your hand. Again, think of this that, what have you done? You have basically sent your army forward. You have quelled unrest within your city-state. You have developed a bit more. That's because you're conquering. That's what you're doing. Yeah? So, no, that was a great round. You really maximized what your cards were able to do. So let's go and look at what you actually have before we get to the solstice. All right, so what you have advance. So choose to pay 3 resources to acquire either a uncivilized or civilized, or pay 5 resources to break through for the same.
Okay, hold on, I gotta write this down. 3 squares to acquire.
So civilized or
green
uncivilized.
Or
a blue. So green or a grey, I guess it is, isn't it?
Okay, or a gray.
Yeah.
And then or pay 5 squares to break through. For green or gray.
Yes. You, again, because your hand now is only 5 cards, you're going to see, so you've got 2 conquer cards. We've already explained what conquer does. You've just done it. So you don't need to explain, we don't need to go through those anymore. You know
now,
all...
If we get rid of a card completely from my hand, let me know, so that way I know
yes,
just to
you
completely
can scrub it off. So you've got advance, you've got 2 conquer cards, you have Philip II, right, which we've already explained that. So the only card that is now new to you is Glory. This card cannot be garrisoned. Abandon 3 regions to look at the top 2 cards of the... Oh, okay, so we've got a deck up at the top here called the Fame deck. Right? But a part that I haven't explained. The Fame deck is even better, more powerful cards. We're talking that, the ultimate card is the King of Kings. This is when your civilization is the absolute best. So what Glory lets you do is to take a look at the top 2 cards and then choose one of them. Take one of those cards. All right. Glory, that was such an amazing card. So much you can do with it.
What is abandoning?
So abandon, you would remove these 3 regions that you have basically got. You would get rid of them.
Oh no!
So it's a sacrifice, isn't it?
Are any of those points though? I don't get no, but I might get extra resources for them.
Exactly. This is the trade-off.
And also, I can play them to get their things.
Exactly. You haven't got the card yet that allows you to do that, but that's exactly what you would do with them. So that's the trade. You are acquiring land, which you could use to generate resources, but if you're prepared to abandon them, you could get yourself a card that gives you super god tier powers.
If I were to get that like yellow card on the right-hand side with the 2 little circles, no, what card do I need to get their resources? That card.
Right, okay, here we go. So here we go. The boats. So exhaust, choose recall a water droplet to gain 2 resources and 1 population, or recall a wheat to gain 1 action. So that
recall just means put it back into Discord.
Let me just
discard, not Discord. Discard.
Discard. Let's just recall. So this is only with these type of cards here, which are permanent cards. When one of these cards is recalled, return it to your hand. So basically, once you've got a boat in play, you can recall one of these permanent cards back into your hand and gain a resource. But then you're able to play that card back again. Okay, it as a separate action.
So I would just get those cards back while getting resources.
Yes,
That's cool.
but it's only 1 card. Only 1 card that you would put back, but then you've got it in your hand and you could potentially play it again, so long as you had the actions.
Multiple of those cards have symbols on them.
Not all of them do. This one has...
No, but some of them do. So if I put that boat down and I had it out there, then I could use actions to like recall the cards and then play them again later.
Yes.
And that card is worth points.
It is, and it's a variable amount of points. Let's just double check on this. So it is a star. Variable points as specified up to 10. So... Oh, and actually, here we go. This is a good one. Let's see if we can... The camera's going to be okay to us. It's getting dark now. So can you see down at the bottom? It basically says 1 victory point per every wheat or every water droplet symbol, up to a maximum of 10.
On the board, not in hand.
Well, no, it would... oh, actually, that's a good call. Is it... Yes, it will be on the board, yes. So if you've got the boat in play, and if you have these region cards in play, for every wheat and every water droplet, you would get a point up to a maximum of 10. So there you go. That is the card to basically start maximizing those icons. All right.
So, sorry, a jet flew over and you cut out on that last part. I don't think the 2 are related. I think they were just coincidence. So I'd only get the victory point if I have them played out on my top.
Yes.
Okay, sorry about that.
That's all right. Again, with a deck builder, which people who, of course, have played them and fans of them will understand this straight away. It's the combination, it's the combos that you're trying to build of one card works then with other cards, triggering their actions that then maximizes the amount of points. And of course, there are so many different combos in this game that you can potentially network together. As we said right from the start, this is a tutorial game for us as we learn, yeah? Because there's quite a lot. I was going to potentially, we might have done different civilizations if we play again. I think we might stay with the civilizations we've got, right? And do them again, because that will help cement. All the rules will be the same, it's just then a different civilization has different sort of win conditions and different cards that will come into play a little bit. So maybe it's worth... if
we play the same thing, I'll have my cards written down.
Yes, but of course it depends what appears at that time, because we'll shuffle those decks, won't we? Yeah. All right. So you have done your actions and you use that exhaust. So basically, we reset. We take the exhaust marker off there. We then do the Solstice action, which is now do the cleanup. So I've got to add one of these development tokens to each of, progress tokens. Each of these. Hey, look, that boat is now getting some love. Okay, they're all done. The Solstice. So I may I may discard a card to choose, gain 1 population or 1 resource, or draw a card. Roger, Monkey, are the rules easy to read through and look things up? Yes. Let's just, show you there. There's a quick reference on the back, which basically goes through the structure of an actual turn for a player. That's simple enough. And then everything is basically keywords. And again, this is a very much a deck builder element. So it's understanding and just looking up what those keywords are. And once you've played it, you know, some of these you straight away you understand what they are. Right? Again, some of these keywords are unique to the civilization that you might be using. Give it a few goes. The actual game itself, how to play, is 1, 2, 3 pages basically. That's it. The game is in the cards, and only by going through the motions will it become sort of, you know, you get used to it. So I may discard a card, choose either 1 population or gain 1 resource or draw a card. I think now I can start off with, well, here we go. Let's see if how this works. I'm going to discard a card and take myself 1 population. That's using Rome. And I'm going to discard another card and get another population. Okay. So I'm going to start 1, 2, 3. I'm starting this next turn now with only 3 cards in my hand. Right? So that is, I've got some more population, but I've got less cards in my hand. But again, ultimately, I only have 3 actions. So, you know, let's see how we do. Okay, here we go. 3rd round. I'm going to play Roman expansion. So I get to acquire a region. And then you may acquire a region again. So let's do this. I'm going to acquire a region. I'm going to take this marsh. I'm going to take all those progress tokens. I'm going to take this marsh. So that goes into my hand. We then draw out a new region. You may acquire a region again. So I'm going to...
Sorry.
Go on, sorry.
No, I'm not going to ask you any questions because then you're going to be like, oh, maybe she wants... This is your voice, by the way.
Oh, yeah, of
maybe
course.
she wants this later, so maybe I'll do something to stop her. So I'm not going to ask my question until it's my turn. You continue with what you're doing.
Okay. And that sounded just
You're
like
welcome,
me,
chat,
of course.
for that exact representation of what he sounds like.
So, okay, Roman expansion. So I've acquired a region. I then may acquire a region again. I'm going to take this mountain. Taking the mountain.
I like that I'm like the biggest advocate of like, just read to us, monkey. You will relax us all and it will be so enjoyable. You have the best reading voice or speaking voice. But then when I'm feeling sassy about a game, I'm like, whoa, this is how monkey talks.
Oh yeah, it definitely changes, doesn't it? Okay. So here we go. I'm afraid, bad news. This is Roman expansion. Each other player recalls a region. Put this card, and then I put this card into my history. So you lose one of your regions because ultimately I have acquired.
I have up there. Let's see here.
So which one do you want to lose? I would suggest that you might want to lose.
But I get them back in my hand.
It goes back in your hand, yeah.
So I'm going to take the one that gives me 2 boxes.
Yes. Oh, yes, yeah, exactly. It's the one that doesn't have any icons, and it's the one that gives you 2 resources. Yes, good call.
I wrote my cards down. I wrote them down.
Okay, so...
That's right, viewers. Don't forget, we are playing in 2 separate countries, and I don't have this game to look at, so all I have is a notepad and a pen. Ha ha!
I was actually singing. I was singing your praises to somebody this week, and on how awesome you do, given the limitations of how you play the game. So there you go, Roman expansion. That is done. I get to put that card into my history. It is done and dusted.
Oh, well, thanks.
All right. So there you go.
Thanks for talking nice about me.
And that costs 1 action. I don't do it often, no.
Oh, okay. Well, all right.
So that's been done. Ooh, what do I want to do? Do I want to play... I'm just going to do it. So I have 2 actions left. 1, 2. I'm going to use them both. And I'm going to play the marsh and play the mountain. So ultimately, I gain 5 resources. So move that over there, put those there. 5 resources. So we can take one of the nice 5 resource tokens. There we go. Done. And so I discard those 2 cards. I draw up. I've taken 2. That's my discard. I put a new card into the discard pile. I shuffle the cards. And then 3, 4, 5. There's the draw pile. Alright. There you go. That's me done. Over to you. And I can put these back. Done.
Sorry, I was writing in chat.
I just noticed. Monkey talking nice about me happens as much as his successful dice rolls. Ooh, that's cutting on 2 levels.
And then I said, just kidding, you're really nice. I'm just being sassy. I had cookie dough earlier.
Okay.
But it was the rest of my cookie dough, so there's no more left, so I'm just sad. That's all that's happening here is I'm just sad.
Oh. Come on then, Alexander the Great. Show me how awesome you are. What you're going to do. You've got 3 actions.
I'm going to play my phalanx first.
Phalanx, okay, so that costs you an
why not?
action. Well, remember, you don't have a discard pile, so no, I would suggest not.
Oh, I don't have a discard. Okay,
No.
then, never mind.
No. So I wouldn't do that.
I'm not going to do that. It was a test, and everyone passed. Okay. Do I have Philip out right now?
No, you've not used Philip. Philip's still available.
Now, when I acquire one of those cards, I acquire it from the market?
Yes.
Oh, but we have that one. Do I have a Conqueror?
You have 2 Conquer cards in your hand. Remember, you're starting this round with actually 6 cards.
But I don't have the people.
You have no people at the moment, no. But you do have those progress tokens, and remember, they can be used as people.
Right, but not many people.
No. It's only 1 per token.
But I can for my first trick.
I'm just looking at what Dinah's saying. No, is the English way of saying, you idiot. Like
bless your heart. My 2 that are up there get 1 population, another one. Gets one population.
No, those regions have been spent and done.
The 2 that are still out?
Yes. Oh, yeah. They've done. You gain that bonus as soon as you played them. That was it.
Oh, it's not no.
Okay.
So that bonus isn't reoccurring.
No.
Well, as much as the other one is. Okay. I'm going to figure this out.
They only reoccur in the sense of the icons of the wheat and the water, and that's only if you had the boat working with you as well.
All right.
Basically, to be able to use something as you're describing, it requires that exhaust command, and only at this moment in time is the phalanx that you have, which again
and how many
doesn't
boxes
count.
do I have?
How many what? Sorry.
My boxes, my little resource boxes at the bottom, my tokens.
You have 2.
I have 2.
2, yes.
Okay then. So can I replay the Orestes then and get
You
2
can.
more?
Indeed. So that's 1 action, and we put that into play. And yes, you do indeed. You take back that valley.
Quit licking. Hey, stop it.
Okay, and you now have.
You monkey.
4...
You can lick as much as you want.
Now you have 4 resources. Hey, moving on. Okay.
Okay,
What next?
so if I were to do my advance card.
Advance. Okay, let's take a look at that. So
my advance card could buy that gray card up there with the 3 points on it, correct? Because it's to get a green or a blue.
You mean this one
here? Or a gray
here?
or a blue. No.
This one here?
3 in. The T.
The T. Okay, right. Yeah, it's a column. It's a a Roman Greek column. Right. So an important point. You can buy that card, right? And you could, as we know, you could do the breakthrough using advance. You could do the breakthrough for 5 resources. So you could maybe use one of your development tokens and 3 of your actual resource tokens, and you could buy it. The thing is, and hopefully you can see, on the edge there is blue flags, right? It means you can acquire the card, but you can't use it at the moment, even when it's in your hand, because you are still a barbarian state. You would only be able to use that card once you transition to being a civilized state, an empire.
Much further till I do that?
You got 3 cards. You're 3 cards away from it. Another important aspect, here we go, is all these barbarian cards, the moment you become an empire, you can no longer use the barbarian cards. So, in fact, maybe getting hold of that card now is not necessarily a bad thing, because you're poised to make that transition in the next 3 cards.
And I don't know why you're trying to stop me. I wanted the victory points. That was my plan.
Okay.
I'm spending 1 victory, but I'm getting 2 back essentially.
Absolutely.
So
Yeah.
that was my plan.
Yeah, I'm just sort of marking out the path a little bit. Okay. So it's a great card to have that you just can't use right now, but as you do that transition, you'll have that card, and then you're able to use it. You're planning for the future a little bit.
And so this dude, my advance card goes into discard, or it's gone forever?
No, he goes into discard. So get rid of him. It costs you 3. Oh, sorry. So what are you going to do? Are you going to spend the 3 or the 5?
The 5, because I don't want the card underneath it.
Exactly. Okay.
So I'll use a victory point and then 3 resources.
Yep. So they go in there, that goes there. You take that card, so you get yourself 3. That goes into your hand. The Unrest card.
This card, can we tell me what it does? I know I can't use it yet. It needs to be in the civilized stage or something.
That's it, yeah, and you'll be able to see clearly now. Can you see how it's got blue icons up at the top underneath its name. So it's called Urban
and this
Development.
One is urban.
So gain 1 resource and 1 population per, and then it is the symbols. And basically it is a symbol of a helmet, and there's another symbol I can't quite see. So again, it's a similar situation as the region cards with the wheat and the...
I've seen any cards with those symbols on it yet.
There's no symbols yet, but again, you're not at that stage of development.
Right.
But as soon as you are, it's going to start paying off.
It.
Exactly. You have it, and you got points as well, so that's good.
All right, and then
so
that
let's
was
just put that out there.
an action. That wasn't my first action. That was like a second action, so I don't know why I still have that many actions.
Right,
left.
so that's a second action, yes, because you put out the other one. Let me just double check something here. Hang on a second, one moment. Because this is where I need to be on the case. So I need to put one under there. And one under that one, yep. And you're going to have to remind me. So basically, when cards come out in the market, they need to have Unrest cards put underneath them. And it's it's only the yellow cards that don't require them.
Hello, Alan.
Alan, welcome.
Alan.
How are you? Hope you're well. We are just in the middle of playing Imperium Classics from Osprey Games. Sarah is the Macedonians, and I am the Romans.
So for my last trick.
Your last action, yes. What are you going to do?
I got Philip. Can I use Philip?
You can use Philip. Yeah, absolutely. So let's use Philip.
I'm thinking I should take that boat.
So you can acquire any one of the cards in the market, and then you place Philip into history. So
I'm thinking I should get... What is the bottom? No, I know what the bottom means. What does the right yellow card say?
It is the steps. So this gives you icons of 2 coin purses and a wheat. You can exile a card from the market, and you may garrison a card. So it's increasing the icons that you have, which of course pay dividends depend on certain types of cards. The boat could take advantage of the wheat icon, but you've not encountered something yet that takes advantage of the purse icon.
And we've done the Halico card. We've done...
So the only cards...
You know what? Let's use Philip.
Using Philip, okay. Philip's done. So you just need to decide what card you want to purchase.
I think the only ones in my hand, I think, was what? Like a glory card, right?
You got 2 Conquer, a Glory, and the recently purchased Urban Development. Those are what are in your hand.
Oh. Do I want to? Yeah, no, I'm going to go with my original plan. Let's just use Philip. And...
Shall I just go through what the cards are available? So you've basically got the Assyrians as a tributary. It's a free play. You could play that right now. You gain 3 victory points, but there is an unrest for -2, and you gain 1 population. You got the jungle, which is a 1 point, and you gain 1 population, and you gain a progress token. You got education. It's a civil. What?
I want that. I want the yellow one with the play button on it. Let's play Philip.
Yeah. Okay. You're taking that.
You're correct.
So he goes there. That goes there. You gain a population. Done. New card comes out. It's a yellow again, so we don't have to put an unrest underneath it.
Danger? Oh, you don't.
It doesn't. Yellow's the one that doesn't.
Philip is gone forever, though, right?
Philip's gone. He's done his thing. He helped you find a jungle. I mean, that's awesome.
But he's gone forever, so I can cross him out.
Yes. So what we do now is we put these cards into your discard. We then draw up one of your development cards. We shuffle these. Shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. Shuffle, shuffle. More shuffling. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Dude, right when we start figuring out this game, it's going to be over soon.
Yes, we're going to have to put the freeze on it in the next 30 minutes. But we're getting there now. It's all coming together, isn't it? Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
This is much better learning this way. Okay.
Okay, so let's go through these cards quickly. I'm only going to show you the cards that you've not experienced. So you have Urban Development. You have Glory. You have the new Jungle card, which I just explained, which is gaining 1 population. You have...
Okay, I didn't get to write it down as 1 population. Okay.
Okay, you have the Conquer, which you've done several times. So the only one that you haven't done before is this one just here. With, again, another historical name of a group of peoples that I am going to butcher. Uaxians? I do apologize. Steal 2 resources from each other player. You may return an exhaustion token to your state card. So if you had played an exhaustion token, you could play it again.
Okay.
All right. That's pretty cool. That's an interesting card. All right. So those go there. Alan, getting better. How are folks? We're doing fine, thanks, Alan. I hope you are better. That's good to hear. Okay, that is the end of your turn. We refresh that. We put out new tokens. I'm going to have to trade some of these tokens, I think. That's a 5. That's 2, 4, 5. There we go. Do that. And I'll do the same for me. 2, 4, 5, there we go. So, token. Ooh, that boat is looking good. Looking good, boat. Alright. And so I have 1, 2, 3, 4. I have my 5 cards in my hand. You have your 5 cards. But we then hit the Solstice. So... I may discard a card to gain 1 population or 1 resource. How many resources have I got? I got 4 resources. I've got 2 population. And I can do it again. So discard a card to gain 1 population or gain 1 resource or draw a card.
So,
actually,
what was it that allowed you to go first every single round? Just a question.
Just so that I was able to then show you how to play the game to start off with.
Okay, so every single time, though, it never switches between who goes first?
Never switches, no. It just goes in this order all the time.
Okay.
It doesn't really... Well, I mean, ultimately, when we get to the end conditions of the game... you get to have your turn, so nobody misses out on a turn. But next time you can go first if you wish. Not a problem.
Yeah, no, it was fine. I just didn't know if it was something that like maybe we weren't doing. Like if there was a game mechanic, like every round somebody new starts.
Yeah, no.
I just wanted to make sure. No. I'm not being like, well, why do you get to go first and I don't? No. I was just wondering if it was if this is just how it goes, or if there was another mechanic we were missing, or
Yeah, no, I think we're good, but I will double check to make sure. Okay, but later we'll do that later on. We'll just carry on as we are. But I think we're right. So I'm going to discard a card to draw up a card, and I am going to discard another card to draw up a card. So here we go, you see, my discard, my draw pile is 0. I'm able to then, this is how I'm speeding through my deck. I want to get myself to an Empire state as quickly as possible. So that is the end of the Solstice. So then we go into the main turn. So I'm going to use an action. And I'm placing this down. This is Gallia Aquintia. which I'm assuming is a region in Italy. So that goes down. That cost me 1 action. I am also, and there was no bonus to that, I'm going to play the Retia. That's going to go there. And I do gain a resource. We'll take a resource token. Done. That's 2 actions done. Okay. And so here we go. My final card, I'm going to play Prosperity. All players may draw a card. So you can draw. Would you like to draw a card, Sarah?
Do I want to draw a card? Is
Yes,
the question.
it's a free card. You have 2 cards.
Okay.
You want to draw one? Yeah. So you draw one. You get another Conquer card. So you've got 6 cards in your hand. I get to draw a card. So I'm going to take another card in my hand. Choose gain 1 resource per coin purse, or gain 1 population per territory I have. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 territories. Right, gets me 5 population. That's my discard. That's my main one, and I get 5 population. So that's the benefit of building up these territories. You will receive cards that give you those kind of bonuses. And that was my last action, wasn't it? So my 3 cards that are in my hand. Let me just, is that Prosperity? Yep. There's the discard. There's my new card. That's 1. I then take from my pile in there, shuffle these. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's my hand. Got my 5 cards. Done. Over to you, Sarah.
Hey, do I have any yellow cards in my...
You have the jungle.
All right then, so for my first action...
Action.
I will...
Play the jungle?
I will play that thing up there and exhaust it.
Oh, right, okay.
The phalanx?
Am I jumping ahead? Remember... No, hang on. You don't have... Hang on, that's... Oh, yes, you do. You do have... No, you don't have a discard pile yet.
Oh.
It only works with the discard pile. The thing is, you're blasting through your deck so quickly, you're not actually having opportunity to create a discard pile. Right? It's only once you start acquiring more of these cards, you've got to basically be over 5 cards. You are now... in addition to with that one, but at this moment in time, you don't have a discard.
All right then. So...
The jungle is actually part of your hand, so you could use that action to just play it as normal. So it's not that you can't play it; it's just how you go about playing it.
Now my Uxin's card, is that a one-time use?
Which one, sorry? Oh,
the UX...
No. No, you can use that multiple times.
So if I play that card up there, I can use it whenever I want on any rounds?
You play it, and it will go into your discard pile.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm going to play that one.
Okay, so you're going to use an action. You're going to play the Uxians, if I get that correct. Steal 2 resources from each player, and you may return. Well, you're not going to do the last part, but you're definitely going to get 2 resources. So you've stole those, and you now have the first card in your discard pile. All right, next action.
I guess I will do the... Let's see here. So I have a couple conquers in my hand. I
Yep.
have the one that I can't play yet because we're not at that level.
Yep.
And then I have the jungle, and that's it. Okay. Or the glory. I think I also have the glory card.
You have the glory as well, yeah.
So, and I have only one people token down there.
Yes, 1 population. Yep. But you do have 6 progress tokens.
Okay, so I will play the jungle.
Okay, you're playing the jungle. That costs you an action, and you gain a population. Done. It does say it does say you can exile a card from the market. So it depends. This is a way of you being able to refresh the market, potentially see other cards, but it does mean that that card is lost forever.
Let's discard the middle section.
You mean the education one?
Yeah.
Yeah, all right. So that's going to go. I'm going to remove that. Draw up a new card. It is a Metropolis. So
Give
again,
it a red card.
give it a red card. That's it. Only the
Sorry, I
yellow
didn't know if you were
cards.
getting to it or not, and you said remind you, so.
Oh yeah. It's a Solstice card, so that will be a good card to have when we do that transition.
What happens at the solstice with that card?
You choose gain 1 population or 1 resource or draw a card, but there is no penalty to for me to be able to take advantage. I've got to discard a card. That you just get the benefits. No cards are being discarded, and it's worth 2 victory points.
What happens at the solstice round? I get to get.
You gain 1 population or 1 resource, or you're able to draw a card from your deck. And and it also has one of the symbols that you're looking for urban development.
Oh crap. Okay, so for my last action, I guess that I'll play Conquer and pay 3 people, which means I have to use a play button to get that one. That one's probably
right. No, you can't do that with the Conquer, because Conquer only allows you to take either a region or a tributary. It doesn't allow you to take a civilized card because you're conquering people.
Oh, and I can't take green with it either?
And you can't take green with it either. No, it's purely territories and tributaries. So you could take the steppes or you could take the Assyrians.
What does that first blue one say? The little...
The Assyrians, basically you'll get yourself a progress mark token. It's a free play, so you could play it instantly. And you gain 1 population. And it's worth 3 points. But you would also pick up the Unrest card, unless you paid the extra to basically not do so.
So let's do that.
So you're going to use a Conquer card. It's going to cost you 3 population. So that is the 2 plus the progress token, yeah?
Right, which I'm getting back anyways.
Exactly. So you're going to take that card into your hand.
And this one, okay, I need to write it down as what?
Well, hang on a second. So you get that token. It's a free play. In other words, you can play it right now. Right? To which you'll get a population and it goes into your discard. Do you want to do that?
Yes.
Yeah, so there's your population. That now goes into your discard.
Oh, what does the card say so I have it written down?
Basically, every time it's in your hand, you can play it without any cost and you will gain 1 population.
What is it called?
It's called the Assyrians. And that, because you did the Conquer card, that was your final action. That's a great card.
It's a free action to get a resource.
Yes, basically. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, and so we draw up a new card. It is an Oasis. We've got plenty of territory cards out on the market. The Oasis gives us 2 purses and a water and you're able to exile a card from the market, and you may garrison. We're not bothering with the garrison part, really, are we? We're skipping past that a little bit. Okay, that brings us to the end of your go. So all of your cards go into your discard. We draw up from your hand. That's one. We need to add a card. Oh, you're so close to your empire. We can actually see Alexander now. Shuffle your cards. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's your hand. What cards have you got?
Can we garrison things like Conquer and cards like that?
Yes. Yes. There's no. Basically, you just any card can be garrisoned unless it states you can't. And of course, that's actually probably a good idea. Because you're getting rid of your cards, and these are the barbarian cards that you don't need. So there is a strategy then to you getting hold of territory cards so that you're able to garrison cards and get rid of your barbarian cards.
I don't have any cards that I can activate to garrison, correct?
No, because you have no territories. These have already been played, so you just have to acquire new ones. And then as you do, get rid of some of those barbarian cards. So what have you got? Right. You have Advance. We've already explained that. We got Glory. We got Conquer. We got the Assyrians back in the hand. And Prosperity. This is the one that I played. All players may draw a card. Then you can choose to gain one resource or one resource per the coin purse icon in your regions, or gain one population per territory card that you have in play. Let's just have a look at how many coin purse.
How many territories do I have in?
You have 4 territories, and you have no coin purses. So it would be the latter part, wouldn't it? So you potentially would get 4 population as it stands. All right.
You only have 3 cards in my hand, or 4 cards in my hand?
You have 5 cards in your hand. You have Advance,
so Prosperity,
Glory,
that Advance,
Glory, Conquer, and the Assyrians.
Ah, yes. Okay, got it.
All right. We do the cleanup. So tokens onto all of these.
While you do this, I need a 2-second break right quick.
All right. Get rid of that. So, chat, how have you followed along on tonight's game? Has it become clear? What do you think? I think once Sarah comes back, we might actually pause it here. We might leave it here and continue on Thursday, because we are essentially at the halfway point in the game. I think that might be a good place to stop. So have you been able to... You came in a bit late, Alan. Yeah, no, that's fair enough. That's fair enough. We took a little bit of time for us to understand the sort of flow of the game, and it has been a case of explaining what each of the cards do. Every card has a keyword to it, and it's once you understand those keywords and then understand the relationships of the cards to one another, it all clicks in place. Sarah, I was just suggesting that actually this might be the perfect point to call it a night and pause the game, because...
Oh, why?
because literally, I think most definitely for you, you're going to transition from a barbarian state into an empire state. Okay, so I think the next time we play, it's probably good to stay as the barbarian and then transfer over as we're explaining, as opposed to already transferred and then forgetting, and it would seem a bit weird when you start off because things are slightly different for you when you become an empire.
All right.
So I think this is probably good place to pause. How do you feel as far as getting to grips with the game? Do you feel like you have a reasonable understanding now?
Right. So yes, I think so. But that means that we're going to be coming back with the same hand, same everything.
Yes, everything is going to stay exactly in place.
Please tell me how many play buttons I have.
You have 6.
And how many people?
Just one. Sorry, one token. And you have 3 resources. 3 resources.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. I think
not that I don't trust you.
No. Well, again, depending if we're able to play this week, or then I will literally just leave everything as it is set up now. If not, we will take a photograph and I will have exactly what cards and resources you've got, and then we'll take it from there. Because the great thing about it is the game packs up really. Let me show you the box, because the box is great. So it does, of course, feature some amazing artwork. I really love the art style across the entire game. And inside, there are rules for solo play. But then, isn't this great? You basically have all the civilizations all in their little decks.
Oh, that's cool.
Right? So you can just pack everything away exactly how you want it.
This plays up to how many people?
I think, let me just see, does it say on the side here? No, got to look underneath. 1 to 4.
So, for everybody who's super into this game that we've been watching so far, when do they join us to see it finish out?
Well, depending on your schedule, potentially Thursday.
Okay.
That's what.
So far, my schedule says that Thursday should be just fine.
Okay, so let's plan for that. I will leave the game set up as is, and we will continue, and we will then transition from barbarian states into empire states, and then it is a race to the finish. I will, of course, at that point then also explain what the end game conditions are, because I haven't explained that at this moment in time.
You shouldn't I kind of been told what they were? They're pretty obvious. I mean, ultimately, the person who has the most points is going to win the game, but there is various events that could happen that will trigger the end of the game, and so we'll explain that when we start. Okay.
The only other thing to show you, because I did explain, there are 2 versions of Imperium. So we're playing Imperium Classics. This is Imperium Legends. And essentially, it's exactly the same game, but with 8 different civilizations. So you can switch and match the... That's the same, but what you're going to see is different. You see, you guys make fun, but it's true. So this contains the Arthurians, the Utopians, and the Atlanteans, as well as the Egyptians, the Murayans, the Minoans, the Olmec, and the Qin civilizations. Each civilization...
to ever say properly.
Which one? What?
I'm just saying, both these games are like, we're going to give them words. We're going to give people words. I'm not saying like they did it for you specifically. I just mean for the general public.
Yes.
Anyone who plays this game, they're like, it'll be funny. All of these words with them trying to say them.
We got the Carthaginians, I think that's right. The Celts, I can say that one. The Scythians, the Vikings, the Greeks, and the Persians. Those are in the classics. And again, every civilization, different cards, unique artwork, play style slightly different.
What's the dice for?
I don't know. It's for one of the civilizations that I haven't played yet. One thing that we didn't go through at the beginning is this is the guide that tells you about the different civilizations, tells you how easy or difficult they are to play, and what you might want to focus in on. So I did sort of highlight this a little bit with our two civilizations, the Macedonians and the Romans, that are both the most straightforward nations to play. So we're starting with the easy ones. There was an announcement, I think it was maybe a good month or so ago, that there will be Imperium Horizons due out. I think it's at the beginning of next year. And again, that's another 8 civilizations being added to the list. So, oh my goodness, there are just so many civilizations that you could potentially play in this game. Once you understand how the game plays, the civilizations just slot on in and away you go. So it's a great game as far as just experiencing different styles of play within this framework of a deck building game. There we go then. I think we'll probably leave it at that then, hey?
Right, I guess we'll have to just finish this Thursday.
Yes. Hey,
quick, she's figuring out how to play. Let's make her stop.
well, again, now that you've gone through the motions, watching a tutorial video on YouTube actually might be a bit easier because you understand how the game plays out. It's always a little bit daunting when you start off with a brand new game that is a little bit complex, that sometimes you're not quite sure.
I can 100% assure you, learning how to play this game does not in any way make me want to go back and rewatch that tutorial. I don't know why that was a statement you made, but I can assure you, I will not be revisiting that tutorial.
Okay.
I got a few rules from the tutorial that stuck with me, but then the rest of it was me just asking questions annoyingly to you, and you handled it like a champ, and I thank you for that.
You're welcome. You're more than welcome.
Maybe that other individual just needed a nice storytelling voice like you. I don't know. Don't know.
Maybe if I can get the transcript, maybe I can just speak all those words and explain it. Maybe that's how.
I don't know if it was just the delivery, or because this is interactive and so this is good for my brain. My brain likes visual and auditory things versus just. Yes, technically that video was visual as well, but it was so dry. It was just very dry, and my brain just turned off. It caught a few things, my brain turned off, and I tried so hard.
Well, hey, it hasn't hampered your play tonight. You've done really well.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong. That video, I'm sure, works great for a lot of other people, just not my brain. I don't want to be down talking that video. It's just my brain doesn't work that way.
Not to worry. All right then. So yes, we will continue on Thursday. So I guess have a good rest of your day, and we'll see you then, eh?
All right. See y'all Thursday. Bye.
Bye now. Okay, so our thanks to Sarah for playing part 1 of Imperium Classics. We will pick this up again on Thursday at 7 p.m. And yes, we will watch the Macedonians transfer from a barbarian state into a mighty empire. But will they be able to be the empire of all empires? I guess time will tell. Thank you so much for joining us. Look forward to seeing you on Thursday evening. But until then, bye for now.